Hello, everyone. Hello and welcome to this, the 10th annual monthly Verona faction turn. Before we begin today's faction turn, I want to thank all the reps for being extra patient with me. I know that we're all on various time zones, but I was in a very different time zone than usual. I was a little less accessible than usual this month because I was in Japan for a week right at the end of the month. It's going to be a nice warm-up for next month. We're going to be in Poland for a week right before the faction turn. But hey, you know what? It's fine. That's just how it goes. Things will calm back down in May. If you haven't watched the video already, after the last episode of Verona, we recorded a short video with the cast and myself talking about kind of the future of the show. So as you may or may not know, most, if not all, of the cast of Verona will be moving on to other projects. Max will be staying with us for Court of Swords, of course, but everybody else is going to be doing other stuff. So we're going to be wrapping up the arc of Nomi and Booker and the crew of the Jurisprudence, hopefully in the next episode. I think that's the plan. And then what this means is we're going to start a brand new thing, a completely brand new Verona thing. So this doesn't mean the end of the Verona universe, the faction turn. I need you to continue building the world's conflict with me. But yeah, we'll be doing a brand new thing. And I got to tell you, I've been thinking about all kinds of options, and not just like where we're going to set it or what time or what characters we're going to play, but like what system we're going to use. Because you want to pair the right system with the right game. So depending on what our premise is going to be, we're going to keep using the Verona faction turn stuff no matter what. That'll continue on for us. We will keep playing this game. But for the live show, I might switch systems. We might do something different there. There's all kinds of room to do all kinds of neat stuff. So I've been doing a little brainstorming. I've been thinking a little bit about what kinds of shit I want to do. And yeah, and I will let you know more kind of as we get there. But the idea is going to be we're going to get a new cast. We're going to work with them to develop a new premise. Essentially, same universe, new show. Yeah, and I hope whatever we end up with, you will enjoy it. But for now we have the real Verona to play. We're not talking about this fan show. We got this real thing we got to do. So, it is turn 10. It is turn the 10th, and in this turn we have some new factions. We have some new assets to move about. There are a various number of things that we got to manage. So let's get into it. So beginning today's faction action, we are starting with one of our brand new factions. We are starting with House Seradantis. So House Seradantis is number 1 on turn 10's faction list. And they are going to be taking the refit action. So let's start there. So refit asset. Let's give them the money they need. So refit asset. But first, they get, I think, 7 for their income. So let's give them the money they so sorely deserve. You don't want to cheap out on House Seradantis. So these guys start with 4. They get 7, which brings them up to 11. I believe that they currently have no goal, so they're not going to assign one this turn. They haven't decided yet. And then they're going to refit for 6 faction credits, which brings them down to 5. They are refitting their pre-tech researchers into a commodities broker. So pre-tech, Seradantis pre-tech researchers, these guys are becoming a commodities broker. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. So that costs them 6. We charge them. They're good. Less research, more brokerage. Stop researching things. Make us money. All right. And they have a balance of 5, and I believe that ends their turn. Cool. I make money to make money, right? So refit commodities. It was researchers on Demnoff to commodities broker. That's the Dutch version of this word. Commodities broker. All right, commodities broker. Done. Good. Cost 6 credits. And that's that. Awesome. All right. So, next up in the order. Oh, how's Lyra? I forgot to put your number in. That's okay. You haven't had a turn yet. So, next up in the order is the Houses Minor. The houses spicy. So the Houses Minor have some trouble to get into today. They've got some business to attend to. They are going to well, let's start with their money. So we gotta start with their money. They are second in the order, and they get Houses Minor. They start with 8. Their income brings them up to 14, I think. Yep. Okay. They are changing their goal to Blood the Enemy. And for them, Blood the Enemy is at 0 of 15. All right. Okay. Oh, this is going to be... I just realized this is going to be sad. I have to set everybody's relationship to neutral. I have to set everybody's relationship to neutral after this turn because we got new PCs. Oh, interesting. So my hope, just as a quick aside, my hope is that we, for our next game, I think we might shift towards the Empire being in a more adversarial role. Yes, we can set Fornax's relationship to hostile right away because Fornax is hostile to everyone, including themselves. But yeah, I think maybe the Empire might be. I mean, they were already the bad guys in this thing, but they were already so they might be the antagonists. I think we might switch to see that. Alternately, someone that's a little bit more like neutral, like a Vagrant pirate fleet or something like that. Yeah. We'll see. I'll let you know. You'll be the first to hear about this. My faction squad. I will talk about it in the Discord. I'll probably do like a Q&A or like a lore stream or something. Yeah. But it'll probably be set. I got to set it during a period of crisis. So I'm thinking maybe we'll explore the like post-Vela navigation crisis in the universe. And if you are excited about rolling navigation rolls, ooh baby, do I have what you want? Anyway, where were we? So the Houses Minor have their money. They have their new goal, Blood the Enemy. Their progress is 0 of 15. Let me write that down. Okay. There we go. And now we got to do their turn. So for these lovely humanoids, their faction action is they're going to take the attack action. But before they attack, they're going to move a bunch of their shit around. So let's write that down. So activating the transit web between Aomori and Yakia, and the transit web between Diomikado and Yakia. So that means their balance will be 12. Okay, so let's set that. So we're going to pay for that. Houses Minor comes down to 12. And they are moving Commodities Broker from Aomori to Yakia. Okay, I can just do this all at once. So, Aomori, here we go. All right, Houses Minor, Commodities Brokers, both to Yakia. Okay. And then they're moving their hostile takeover from Aomori to Yakia. Here we go. All right. And then move the Book of Secrets from Dio Mikado. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I've got it organized. Dio Mikado. The only problem is I don't know what all the numbers are. What number are you, Dio? There you are. Book of Secrets from Dio to Yakia. Okay. All right, so that's all the moves. So let's shift this again because there are attack actions occurring one at a time. All right, first, attack the UPC with the hostile takeover on Yakia. All right. So, attack UPC with a hostile takeover on Yakia. And Yakia is going, the UPC is going to block with Zealot. Okay. All right. So, hostile takeover. Let's take a look at some stats. All right. So, Yakia. Houses Minor, Book of Secrets. What else we got here? Houses Minor. There we go. Okay. Hostile takeover is a wealth versus wealth attack. Wealth versus wealth. Weird bird face. Okay. So wealth versus wealth attack, which means we're looking at 7 versus a 3. All right, 7 versus 3 on that roll. And then the attack damage and blocker here. So attack is, I think, special, right? Yeah. Oh, no, it does damage. If it kills, it takes it. So it's 2d10 damage. All right. So 2d10 attack. And then the counter attack on the Zealots is, let's see. Okay, so they're going to unstealth. And the Zealots is 2d6 counter attack. Okay. All right. Now, there are several books of secrets on this planet. There's a High Church Book of Secrets. And there is the Houses Minor Book of Secrets. Now, each Book of Secrets can only be used once per turn, and only on one roll. So let me just double check. Book of Secrets text here. Can I just say, Adobe Acrobat is not very good. Once per turn, it allows the faction to reroll 1 die for an action taken on that world or force an enemy faction. Okay, so yeah, it can actually reroll the die twice, right? They could use 1 and then 1, and I've got orders from them. You don't say. I know, right? You'd think like it's the thing for making and managing PDFs, but it's slow as hell. Okay, all right. Once per turn, Book of Secret allows a faction to reroll 1 die for an action taken on this world. Well, let's make the rolls, and then I will see if the factions would like to use them. So here's our results. Oh, I should check the tags too for the factions. So Houses Minor, okay, it's a cunning attack, and the UPC have secretive. Okay, so no tag effects, just D10s plus. Okay, roll D10 plus 7. Here's the attack roll. We've got a 12. Versus the defense roll, which is an 8. Okay, so it is success. It is success for the Houses Minor on that first attack. So let me make a note. Block with Zealot. Success on attack. And then, let's see, dealing damage. And then they're going to, this is where we decide if we pass it on to the BOI. So the damage is 2d10. It's a big guy. Okay, 8 damage, which is more than enough to kill the Zealots. So they're gonna push it on and let it hit the base of success on attack, 8 damage, pushed to BO. Sorry if you can't read this, it's just I need it this small to be able to have it on the screen. Okay, so push to the base of influence on Yakia. So the hostile takeover deals 8 damage to the base of influence. Nope, not its max. Cancel. There we go. 21. Okay. Which deals 8 damage to the faction's hit points as well. Because this is their home planet. Okay, so the UPC takes that damage, and this gives a goal progress of 8 of 15 to the Houseless Miner's new goal. Okay, all right. So the second attack is, and yeah, it doesn't unstealth the BOI, because the BOI is it has to block directly, so it's still stealthed. Okay, all right. So the next attack is, let's see here. Attack the UPC with a 9 HP commodities broker on Yakia. UPC blocks with transit network, covert transit network. Okay, so let's go check those out. So the covert transit network is unstealthed, and it has no counterattack. Okay. So 0 for counterattack. And then commodities broker, I imagine, is a wealth versus wealth attack. Yeah, wealth versus wealth 2d8. Okay. D8. I'm actually going to change my default die color to white. There we go. Okay, wealth versus wealth 2d8. So same numbers. Here's the attack roll, which is a 10. I don't know why I didn't add that manually. Okay. And then the defense roll, 1d10 plus 3. And that's a 6. Okay. So 2d8 damage. Oof, 9 damage. Okay. All right. So that is success on attack, 9 damage. And they're going to let it hit that CTN. So the CTN takes 9. So it puts them at 6. And that's another 9 here, which is 15 of 15. It's complete. So much blood. It's like the easiest goal to achieve if you can succeed at your attacks. All right. So we'll resolve that at the end. Okay. 9 damage. I think it's 2 XP, but I'll double check. Okay. And then lastly, they're going to attack. Actually, it's not. It's funny. It's not lastly. They took a random shot with their popular movement on Aomori, but there's no one there. They're just waving their popular movement around. All right, so attack the UPC. It's the exact same roll as before. Let's find out how it goes. All right, attack roll, D10 plus 7, which nets us a 13. So we need a 10 for a tie. Not that a tie is going to do anything because they're blocking with the same. Oof. Bad luck for the UPC. Okay, so UPC was blocking with the same covert transit network. It was a success on the attack. And it deals, let's see how much damage. What does that guy got left? Oh, drink. 6 hit points. Okay, so here we go. 2d8. 9 damage. And that is destroyed. Okay, the covert transit network is removed. And drink deals 9 damage. Is that what they got last time? Another. Yeah, we got 9 there. Yeah, 99. Okay, 9 damage, destroys covert network. But let me double check because I think they want to keep it. So let's see if it is lethal. If defending with the party machine. Nope. Okay, so they're good. They're okay to keep it. Destroys covert network. There was a sub clause about blocking with the party machine, but keeping it if the damage was there. But they're okay. The covert transit network is destroyed. So basically, the Houses Minor show up with a bunch of like. It's funny because they're not troops. It's a hostile takeover. It's like business. The Houses Minor business division shows up. Tries to take over the Zealots. The Zealots are uncorruptible, but they let the hostile takeover hit the people, basically the base of the structures, and then a covert transit network is basically bought out and shuttered by the commodities broker. Yeah, that's right. Business boys coming in and trying to buy out democracy. So I think that's their turn. They have a statement. Their goal is complete, which I think gives them two experience, right? Is that how Blood the Enemy works? Let's see. Yeah, you can't buy the UPC. It's been tried. Okay, so that's goal is complete and gives them 2, which brings them up to 8. Am I wrong about Blood the Enemy? Let me double check. It is worth difficulty 2. Yep. Okay, good. Got it. It's like I've done this enough times. I'd finally remembered it. Okay, cool. All right. So, lastly, before we move on, I have a statement. I have a statement from the faction here. From the membership of the Astral Synedrium to the people of Yakia. You have languished long under misguided leadership, but a time is coming soon when you will once again benefit from the wisdom of nobility. To the so-called government of Yakia, we reject the legitimacy of your election, for there can be no authority except that granted by God. One God, one throne, one empire. Man, these Imperial guys, they seem like really good, fun people to hang out with. I would... You know, if you're a noble, the Empire is great. Like, I would absolutely, if I was born a noble in this universe, I would just be like, meh, 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 meh. Yes, I do love the throne and God and stuff. Boy. But if I was a serf, I'd be like, well, this sucks. This sucks in your dicks, man. Turns out, it's all kind of relative. Me. I'm a noble. Look at me. Look at my fancy hat. I recently watched a film, just as an aside. I watched a film called The Favorite, which I found very inspiring from the perspective of a Verona. It's a great movie, but it really like depicts some good shit if you're looking at like the weird ways that nobility operates. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good stuff. Okay, so first turn ever. House Lyra coming out strong with their first turn. So House Lyra, they are 3rd in the order, and this is their very first independent faction turn. So they're going to begin by declaring a goal. New goal. Wealth of Worlds. I forgot to clear the Houses Minor's goal. No, I didn't. What are you talking about? Oh, this one. Yeah. I cleared the progress. Yeah. Okay. I'll clear that so I remember for next time. Okay. So I see what you mean. All right. So Lyra, new goal, Wealth of Worlds. Make fat bank. I believe is how that one works. Let's read the details of Wealth of Worlds. So Wealth of Worlds, spend fat creds equal to 4 times your faction's wealth rating on bribes and influence. This money is effectively lost, but then the goal is considered accomplished. The wealth rating must increase before this goal can be selected again. Oh, did I put it on the House Minor? Yeah, I did. Sorry, there it is. Wealth. Listen, I thought they were still part of the Houses Minor. I just, it's been a while. I forgot. So the goal's progress here. Let's see, what was it? 4 times their wealth. which is 8. So they've spent 0 of 8 on bribes and what have you. Okay, great. So they've declared that goal. They get an income of 4 credits. So that brings them up to, wow, they got money. 23. Okay, all right. They're going to buy an asset as their action. And they're buying, what are they buying? Smugglers on Orpheus. Oh, snugglers. Cool. Lyran smugglers. That's kind of cool. So like, what do they smuggle? Is it dead stuff? Is it art? Oh man, there's a cool campaign idea. You're a group of Lyran art smugglers, like art thieves and smugglers. Oh yeah. That would be a badass spaceship. Kind of like Monuments Man. Yeah, totally. Oh, I'm into it. I feel it. That's cool. Yeah, I like it. Cool. All right, so smugglers on Orpheus, which cost them, I think, what, like, it's very little, right? Smugglers are not expensive. Let me look. House Lyra smugglers. Oh, it's not autofilling. Autofill, damn you. All right, let me look at my show formulas. Oh, good. It's just the one. Just this one. Cool. Good. Just me. All right. So let's go back to normal. I don't know how that happened. Okay. Lyran smugglers. And they're on Orpheus. And it cost them, what did I say, 2? Yeah, cost 2. All right. Little guys. All right. So 2 faction credits. Lyra, make cool lore for these smugglers. I want to know who they are. Put them in the wiki. Because I want them as NPCs. I want the characters to run into them. I think that'd be super fun. Okay. And then they're going to spend... So that was 2, which brings them down to 21. And they're going to spend 8 on Wealth of Worlds. That's 13. Brings them down to 13. 13. Okay. That gives them 2 experience. And I will make a note to spend 8 on bribes, and that finishes their goal. Complete goal. Little house likes throwing their money around. Okay, so that's done, completed, and they're ready for a new goal next turn. All right, before we move on, House Lyra has an ancient... They've been inspired by the culture of ancient Earth to deliver to you a message. Prepare for progress, all people and noblesse, to protect our worlds from devastation, to unite all people with lamentation, to honor the glory of truth and love, to extend our reach to the stars above. House Lyra blasts off at the speed of light. Come join us now, for now we take flight. An ancient prayer. a hallowed prayer of ancient Earth. Thank you. Thank you, House Lyra. Perfect. Tonally perfect. Nice work, House Lyra. All right. So, next up, we have the Deathless. So Deathless are number 4, and the Deathless get some money. So they start with 24. They get another 5, brings them up to 29, not 298. They have no additional goal. And they are going to buy some zealots on Demnoth. Makes an easy one. So buy assets, zealots on Demnoth. Man, I love the idea of, so like zealots, when I think of zealots, I think of them as like whatever encapsulates the faction's kind of core stuff cranked up to 11. So like Deathless zealots, I feel like these are the guys that they just scooped off of Thorg and put them into armor and were like, go. Like, you're part of the Deathless now. And they're just like, they've been living on planet Crazy Pants their whole life. And they're just like, these are basically like the what are the bad guys from Firefly? What are those called? Ravagers. Yeah, those dudes. Yeah, Borderlands psychos. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Really excited boarding parties for ship combat. Reavers. Yeah, that's those guys. Yeah, I love it. I love that idea. So like, I imagine these guys are like, yeah. They're cool and scary. Stay away from those dudes. All right, so we're gonna buy them on Demnoff, and we're gonna keep them in a cage away from everybody else. Deathless Zealots on Demnoff. Okay. And that cost them 6, which brings the faction down to 23. Okay. Cool. Cheers to you, Deathless. That is that. All right. House Crux. House Crux. They are going to be taking the activate asset ability. So House Crux, number 5. Activate asset ability. So they're going to be, I'm just going to copy and paste for these guys. And we'll just punch them in here. Get some stuff to move around. Okay. All right. So they are going to, they're going to activate asset ability. They're going to use the extended theater on Lyra to move the grav tanks from Lodestone back home. Now it has a P tag, but that's okay because it's their home planet. So that costs them 1 fac cred. So their new total should be 5. I'm just going to pay them right. I'm going to pay that right now. Oh, sorry, High Church. I took your money away. House Crux. You get 4. And then you get another 3 for your party machines. And then you spend 2 this turn to bring you down to 5. Okay, there you go. So Crux, I got your math. Now let's move your stuff. Okay, so House Crux is going to move. They're going to move this, let's see, their grav tank formation home to Lyra from Lodestone. Okay. And then they're going to move their strike fleet from Tiber to Diomikado. All right. And then they're going to move covert. They're going to use covert shipping to move saboteurs to Ukiah. Interesting. Okay. Saboteurs to Ukiah. All right. And that's it. That's it. Nice quick one. Crux shuffles their pieces around the board. All right. So next, yeah, Crux saboteurs are the cops that shoot you, and then when you're dead, they put a gun on your body, and then they're like, "He had a gun. He did. He had a gun, and I didn't. What are you gonna do? We got pictures. He had a gun. All right, so let's see. Who is up next? Church of Humanity Repentant. So the CHR sent me like a video that I couldn't figure out how to like get it to play in a way I want. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post it in the announcements. It's a pretty cool video. Lots of good stuff going on. I don't know if you've noticed or been keeping up on it, but the CHR they're having some like very dramatic internal shifting going on, which is cool. So you definitely keep an eye on their social media stuff. There's some big changes coming for the CHR. I'm really interested in seeing kind of where they end up. But for this turn, let's process what they are getting up to. So they are number 6 in the order, and they end up with 17 credits, I think. They get 6 because they got 5 plus a party machine. Yep. So it brings them to 17 credits. They have no goal. And they're going to take the buy asset action for 8 credits to purchase a demagogue, I think. Nope, party machine. Okay, so buy asset, party machine on Cabina. Okay, so So let's give them their party machine on Cabina. Okay, party machine on Cabina. Good. All right, and that costs them their credits. So they have 9, and then they have an announcement for us to make before we press on. So I will do that. Let's see here. Breaking news directly from Lux Gravare, capital city of Cabina. The organization known as the Church of Humanity Repentant appears to have fallen into chaos, as many organizations have pulled their support for the sector-wide church in response to internal schisms with the members. Tensions mount from recent declarations and outside pressures. Various corporate, charitable, and noble entities have made clear their intention to handle the Repentant Initiative on Cabina, and any attempt to get a clarifying statement from the governor's office were met with an official statement by their secretary. The governor's office is in contact with all the independent entities previously part of the Church of Humanity Repentant, and we are working incredibly hard to ensure a smooth transition for all parties involved. We have highly committed people working on this case. It is a tremendously difficult task, but we take aim at nothing short of success. Internal schisms. I love it. I love when internal stuff in a faction or shifts or changes in the way a faction works get presented to us outside of that faction by way of lore, whether it's bits and pieces on the Discord, whether it's direct stuff to me through the faction turn. I love it. I love getting to see that stuff kind of fictionalized. It's quite cool. Yeah. So thank you, Church. I look forward to seeing what comes next. So let's see what we got for the Prism Network. Speaking of telling stories, the Prism Network is number 7 in our order today. So these guys are going to buy asset. Lots of buying today. So they're going to buy an asset, a party machine on Echo. Okay, so let's do their money in that case. Prism Network starts at 11. They gain 6 to bring them up to 17. And then they buy a party machine, which brings them down to 8. Okay. Prism Network. Party machine. No, not part. Party machine. There we go. On Echo. Did I miscount the... Oh, it's 9 remaining. It costs 8. That's right. Yeah, sorry. I got those two flipped. Okay, so the Prism Network buys a party machine, and they end up with 9 credits. And let's see. I think their goal advances. Where are they? Right, Peaceable Kingdom. Yep, that's right. So they're at 2 of 4. And they have an announcement as well for this faction turn. Let me read it to you now. Fool's Day prank gone wrong. Lead actor in Threnody for a Swan, Tanaka Masako, has apologized for using show property to fake a Section 2 raid on her home. Fortunately, none of the extras were harmed during the prank, but the Kestrel Leasing Association is fining Miss Tanaka for making light of the very real danger of synthetic infiltration in our neighborhood. Okay. Miss Tanaka's in big-ass trouble. Don't pretend that there are fake synths, because they're real. They're real. I guess she swatted herself? Damn. Don't accuse anybody of being a robot when they're not, kids. Except me. You can accuse me of being a robot. I'm okay with that. All right. So, next up on the docket, standing firm at number 8 is the Trilliant Ring. So the Trilliant Ring, they're going to make some money. Surprise, surprise. They have got, let's see, the Trilliant Ring, they've got 47 fac creds now. 47 faction credits. They are retaining, or they're going to get a new goal. Planetary Seizure. Hi, welcome to the Trilliant Ring. We take planets. And they are going to take the buy asset action. All right, buy asset. And they're buying a party machine on Party Machone on Heroa. Okay, All right. Party machine for Trilliant Ring. So many party machines on Roa. Party macchiato. All right, party machine on Roa, which costs them 8 faction credits, which brings them to what, 38, 39? And then they're doing one more thing that will cost them 1 more. So they're going to buy a party machine, and then they're going to move their commodities broker to Berkman 3. So Berkman, nope. What am I doing? Yeah, it is 39, but it goes down 1 more because they're doing this. So Trilliant party machine from Demnoff. Oh, commodities broker on Demnoff. That's right. To Berkman. There it is. Okay, so it's on Berkman 3. Final balance is 38, which is correct. Good. Okay. They have a statement, and then we got a resolve. So they resolve their goal because they finish seizing the planet, which gives them what, 1 experience point, I think. Planetary seizure is resolved. They are now the planet. How many planets are you the government of, Trilliant? Like 4? 5 now? It's 4, right? Jesus. I feel like we're seeing the rise of a new, I don't want to call them an empire exactly, a conglomerate. They own a lot of planets. They're like the whoever is the emperor, whoever becomes the emperor is going to have to deal with this Trilliant expanse because they own more planets than anybody up to the empire itself. Yeah. It's pretty cool. They're doing some work. So what this means now is that we have to read a notification, and then I have to make some changes to the spreadsheet. So today is a glorious day for the Empire and the Expanse, as Berkman 3 can now rejoin the flock. This planet is a marvelous example of faith that will inspire the whole sector with their dedication and piety. By symbolizing this return, we believe it is time Berkman 3 should have its original name bestowed to them during the early days of the Empire returned. We are proud to reintroduce the Empire to Nivette, reborn. Damn, Trilliant. Damn. All right. So that means that now Berkman is returning to its original name of Nivette. Okay. Nivette's actually a really pretty name. I'd live there. Okay, so there we go. The Halesco system. Jewel of the Halesco system. It's Nivette. Okay. Nivette Campbell. All right, so there's Nivette, and then let's go and change it in the sector. So it is in the... there it is. There's Berkman. Sorry, Berkman. You are now Nivette. Welcome back. There you go. Cool. All right. So there you go. They now own the planet and have renamed it. I mean, honestly, with all this renaming of planets, I can't wait to see what Fornax does, because this is the thing. Trilliant, they're doing a good job in the lore of saying like why they're renaming stuff, right? Like this whole thing about being like, it was originally called Nivette. Sure. Yeah, let's agree that that's the thing. But that's a way to stamp out the people's like name for it, right? It's Berkman 3, and that's what it became. But when you can't rename Hakani in the same way, or you can do that, but you have to justify it in a different way, right? Like Hakani is an ancestral home of a former Imperial house, so it's much harder to rename. People don't care if you're stealing islands in the middle of the ocean and renaming them, but yeah. names are very important. And B, names change, right? This is a thing that happens. I mean, look at the names of any like developing country and how often they change, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Sage of the Wood. It's also the ancestral home of a current imperial house. So I imagine they would have something to say about it. Yeah. Tell that to Argentina. That's what I'm saying, right? Okay. So we'll get there when we get there. So that is done. That's done, right? Their turn is finished. I'll make a note. Seizure of Berkman 3 complete. Renamed to, at least they didn't name it like Planet Gucci. Renamed to Navet. Okay. No more Burkamania. All right. So let's see. Next up is House Triangulum. So House Triangulum at number 9 is going to set their goal at Peaceable Kingdom. Nice. Okay. Progress is at 0 of 4. All right. And then they have 12 credits total after we do the math for them, which I will spare you. And they're going to take the sell asset action. And they're going to sell. I'm actually going to just grab these here. All right. They're selling their covert transit net on Thorhill. And they're selling their pre-tech researchers on Gleipnir Inc. for a total of 16 faction credits, I believe. So that puts them at 28. We'll check. I have an N number, so we'll figure out the math. So 28 for Triangulum now. Triangulum is investing 5 credits in something. Don't worry about this. None of this stuff matters. This is just don't worry about it. I rolled a 4, right? I got a 4. All right. I rolled a 4. Cool. Okay. And then they're going to spend 1. They're going to spend 1 credit on moving. So 23, 18. And then another 1 credit, bringing them down to 17 on that. And then they get the other credits, which brings them up. Yeah, so their total at the end is 20. Oh, hold on, I took it from the Deathless. Sorry. Because they have the same number, 23. Their total at the end is 22, basically what they make and what they spend. So let me go ahead and update this last one. They're going to move. They're using covert shipping to move a demagogue to Gleipnir. There we go. Okay, so demagogue from Kama to Gleipnir. I guess the vacation's over. He's got all the gildos he can handle. All right. So Kama, here we go. That demagogue is now heading to Gleipnir. There we go. Okay. All right. Looking good. And I think that's it for House Triangulum. Thank you, House Triangulum. I will be in contact with you about that thing that didn't matter. All right. House Fornax. House Fornax. Fornax, I was pretty sure that there was... I was like, all right, Fornax, there's got to be like somebody opposing this silliness that Fornax is up to. There just isn't. There's nobody. You just you get to continue your silliness as you like. You continue with this, and there's nobody to get in your way, which is great, which is good for you. So they're going to, on their turn, they're going to take the new goal, expand influence. So Fornax They finished Blood the Enemy. That's been around there for a while. So expand influenza. Okay. All right. So expand influence. They are going to get some credits, which bring them to 12. All right. There's Fornax. And they are going to buy a base of influence on Hakani. And for some reason in their orders, Hakani is in quotes. Okay, so this is House Fornax, base of influence with 1 hit point on Hakani. Okay. All right, so House Fornax lays down a new base on Hakani, and then they're going to move, using covert shipping, to move a commodities broker from Imperial Prime to Maya. All right. Oh, they've actually got a couple of things they're going to do. Okay. So I got two to move for them. And then they have to pay Vagrant 1 fac cred. Okay, because of the piracy tag. So, all right, so they owe Vagrant another credit, and they paid their credit plus 2 for moving. So it brings them down to 8 total. They're going to move, let me switch all these over to Fornax, and they're going to move their commodities brokers from Imperial Prime. Okay. The 10 HP commodities broker to Maya. From Prime to Hakani. Okay. And then they're going to move Imperial Prime covert shipping on Maya from the 5 HP commodities broker from Prime to Maya. There we go. Okay, a little bit of shuffling around in that system. But that's good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited about the lore of Fornax building their base on Hakani. Like, where is it? What does it look like? What is the public facing of that? I retweeted it. I saw a very confusing Prism broadcast, like a pirate broadcast that had the Fornax logo on it. It was very interesting. Didn't make a fucking whit of sense, but it was still pretty cool. All right. And that's it. Oh, and Vagrant gets 1 faction credit because they're pirates. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look and see. They get their experience for... Fornax gets their XP, right? For the expand influence goal, which brings them up to 6. And then their next turn, they will have finished seizing Hakani, and then I assume their goal for the next one will be planetary seizure. I assume that'll be their next goal. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that Prism video was super cool. You should definitely check it out. Yeah. I retweeted it because I thought it was cool. All right. So speaking of the Confederation of the Upright Vagrant, speaking of those guys, it is their turn. So let's check them out. So the Confederation of the Upright Vagrant, they are number 11 in the faction order, and they are going to take the Seize Planet action. So they start with 6. They get another 5 income, which brings them up to 11. But they actually don't start with 6. They start at... Why do I have them at 8? They got 1 from Fornax. They get I know how to do their math anyway. So they get 5. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If I do a basic math problem, like if I fuck up the math anywhere around here, go ahead and you can message me on Discord. I'll fix it. Have your fact rep let me know, because It's been known to happen once or twice. All right, so the Confederation goes up to 13, and then they're going to take the Seize Planet action. Now, I believe they retain the existing goal. Yep, because they're partway through Blood the Enemy, and they're going to take Seize Planet, which is an attack action with the seizure in it as well. So they are going to seize Tootham. All right, so they're seizing Tootham. Sean is not enough. Sean is not enough world for the Confederation. Time to seize that dark planet Tootham. So they're going to attempt a seize planet on Tootham. This will be turn 1 of that. So I guess I'll just add that in. Seizure Tootham. 1 of 3. Here we go. And I will make a note by turning them red here. They're in the midst of a seizure. So they must continue seizing planets. Okay. All right, seize planet Tootham. And they're going to do that. And while they do that, they're able to attack. Now, here's an interesting thing. If we look at Tootham, there's only two factions on Tootham right now. House Lyra and Vagrant. Now, Lyra would normally be able to contest, except that the party machine that they own on this toxic night planet is currently suffering from trade sickness and can't be used. So the Confederation of the Upright Vagrant, they also have a CTN that's locked down right now, but they've got 2 demagogues and a psychic assassin. So they're going to use those to attack the crap out of Lyra. So what this means is basically just that thing gets hit. The House Lyra asset is just going to take 3 hits. 1 from each demagogue and 1 from the psychic assassins. So we're looking at 2d8, 2d8, 2d6 plus 2. So there's no contest. It's just 2d8 times 2 and 2d6 plus 2. And that's happening against the Lyran. What is that asset there? That is the House Lyra party machine with 10 HP. Okay, so 10 HP. All right. So, and what's interesting here is that Vagrant, they're technically like Imperial properties attacking an Imperial. Like this would be if the courts were up and running, this would be a thing for House Lyra to immediately go before the Emperor and be like, "What the fuck? Like these pirates attacked us, and these pirates belong to you, Fornax. They are your lapdogs. How dare you?" Right? And then Fornax could be like, we don't know, like we can't control them. They're just like, friends of ours. They're an independent agency. Yeah, I don't know her. It's pretty cool. Like from a legal perspective, this is some shady behavior, but the good kind of shady, right? Like the kind that this is exactly how you get shit done. So it's pretty neat. I'm really curious to see how Lyra and Fornax and the Confederation kind of like move forward on the lore from this, especially given that it's not happening on like a kind of normal Imperial planet. Yeah. It's cool. It's legally pretty shady. So okay, let's just roll the damage. There's almost no chance that this won't do the thing. So there it is, 10. Just kills it in 1 hit. All right. So let's see here. All right. No defense. Deals 10 damage to House Lyra. Party machine? Is that what's on the planet? Yeah, destroying it. Okay, here we go. Just got that party machine too. Who gave that to them? Who sent that trade in? Because that party machine ended up on Toothum being traded by somebody, right? Because it had summoning sickness. A Prism. It was a Prism party machine originally. Okay. Cool. And then it got torn apart by pirates. All right. So destroying it. And then these two have no valid target. So they don't do jack shit. No valid target. No valid target. Okay. All right. So they get another 10 on this one, which brings them up to 14, completing Blood the Enemy, giving them 2 experience. All right. Yeah, the other psychic assassin just go to the bar. Okay. So let's see. Blood the Enemy is complete. 2 XP gained. Yeah, you did it. You did it, kids. Yes, that's true. Triangulum should have 1 turn of progress on their Peaceable Kingdom as well. Thank you for pointing that out for me. Okay, great. So don't forget, Vagrant, get a new goal for next turn. And I have a little lore bit to give you before we move on to the UPC. Excerpt from an anonymous recording broadcasted across Toothum. They paint the world full of shadows, and they tell their children to stay close to the light, their reasons, their judgment. Because in the darkness, there be dragons. But it isn't true. We can prove that it isn't true. In the dark, there is discovery. There is possibility. There is freedom in the dark once someone has illuminated it. And who has been so close to doing it as we are right now? That is arcane as fuck. That is confusing, and I have no idea what it means, but you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Weird pirate poems. Thank you, Confederation. Lyran Party Machine, rest in peace. Yeah, what are you up to, Vagrants? This is some fucking Iran-Contra shit. But like with poems, but weird death poems. You don't remember that part of the Iran-Contra affair with all the poems? All right, so UPC is up next at number 12. All right, so the UPC is going to initiate Operation Windwall. Here's Windwall. And they are going to get some credits. So they get 6 income. This brings them up to 11. And they're going to buy asset. And they are buying... Only you and I are old enough to remember Iran-Contra. Yeah, Iran-Contra is like it's like that Nintendo game with the 2 guys that run around and jump and shoot spread guns at each other. I don't know. All right, so they're going to buy a false front on Yakia for 1 faction credit. Okay, good. Let's give that to them. All right, Unified People's Collective, false front on Yakia, and of course it is stealthed. Perfect. I mean, as a kid, I thought that Iran-Contra was about the video game too. I was like, what? Why do they care so much about? That's right. Up, down, Oliver North. Okay, so let's do House Pyxis. Welcome to the faction turn, House Pyxis. It's your first ever turn. House Pyxis. Okay. So they are setting their goal. House Pyxis. Setting their goal to touch as many butts as possible. Okay, all right. They're not attacking this turn, so this counts as 1 towards butt touching. Okay. And then they're going to get their income of 3 credits, which brings them up to, let's see here, Pyxis up to 3. There we go. Super Iran-Contra was a better game. Damn. All right. And they're going to use asset ability. Use asset ability. So I got to go fuck with the sector map again. Because we're going to, and thank you, Pyxis. Thank you so much for describing this way. It took me a minute. Activate the Lodestone's special ability to redirect drive space lanes towards the empty hex located at 0805. Effectively moving Lodestone. Lodestone doesn't move. Can't. That's not how it works. But we can redraw the lines of space to move it. So let's see. It's going to move to... Where are you right now, Lodestone? Lodestone. You move to 0805. So let's go look at our sector map and hopefully not break things too much. They're currently at 0704 and they're moving. All right, here we go. We're unlocking the sector map. Come on, how do I... Yeah, there we go. All right, sector map locked. That's right. You're bending space around it. That's right. Okay, so Lodestone has now moved from 0704, which essentially now makes the jump from the Ellis system to Tavralar. Not like anybody ever wants to fucking go to Banff. All they have is Australian snowboarders. It makes it more expensive and more difficult. We're heading for the Dyson sphere. Damn. Don't. Oh boy. Don't make me start a countdown clock. I'll do it. All right. And then they're going to activate pre-tech manufactory and post-tech industry. So pre-tech manufactory. Listen, if anybody likes touching butt as much as the Pyxis, it's the guild. The guild invented butt touching. All right, so pre-tech manufactory. As an action, you roll a d8 and get half that many fact creds. All right. Okay, so you get 2 fact creds. Okay, so let's make a note. Gain 2 fact creds. Here, let's separate these like this. There we go. Makes it easier for me to eyeball them. Okay, and then activate post-tech industry, which I think is the D6 one. Pause tech, not post-tech. Yeah, D6. Okay. Nice. Get that 6. Another 2 fact creds. Making money. All right. Gain 2 fact creds. Hot shit. Okay, so you gain 4. Drink. And you get some money. So you're up to 7 now. 7? We could buy our own spaceship for that much money. Awesome. Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and... oh, sorry. I have to read them. God, Pyxis. You nerds. Welcome to Crossings, everyone. House Pyxis is here to make bank and chew bubblegum, and we're all out of bubblegum. Oh, no. Wait a second. Okay, so turns out we had a spare pack of bubblegum, so this bit doesn't really work out quite so well. Never mind. Oh, Pyxis, you're so chaotic good. Pyxis and Lyra both had really good starting announcements. It's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, all right. So moving on to, I believe, our last faction. Yeah, our last faction of the day. Down at the very bottom, I have to make their faction text so tiny It's the High Church of the Messiah as Emperor. So coming down to number 14, all the way down to number 14 from the previous of number 6, the High Church of the Messiah as Emperor. They would like me to tell you, the sheep that does not act in the interest of the flock is no longer a sheep. It is a wolf. Be aware. All right, Panopticon stealth check. So we haven't actually had to do one of these yet. Let's see how it works. All right, so the Panopticon matrix. So let me read this to you. The facilities have braked AI intelligence analysts into a web of observation capable of detecting the slightest evidence of intruders on a world. Every rival stealth asset must succeed in a cunning versus cunning test at the beginning of every turn or lose their stealth. The owner gains an additional die on all cunning attacks and defenses on that planet. So let's see where that shit is, and we'll start making some cunning rolls here. All right, I believe it's on Yukia. There it is. The Eye of God. It is very Eye of Sauron, right? It's just like, we see you. All right, so BOI, Party Machine, Zealots, and False Front. I will make a note for each one. So BOI, Party Machine, Prime Minister, Zealots, Final Fantasy. Okay, right? That's all of them, Party Machine, Zealots. Okay, and then it's a cunning versus cunning, just a roll. So this is going to be 4 times, and we're going to roll 8 versus 6. Okay. So 8 versus 6. Let's see. All right, so D10 plus 8. And this is, we'll do them top to bottom. This is the base of influence. All right, so this is an 18 versus 11. So this is the church. I'll put a C if the church won. Okay, same thing for the Party Machine. So a 16 versus a 14. So it's another church win. We got an 11 versus a 16. Okay, so this is a UPC win. And then 8 versus, so we got a 15 versus a 14. Okay. So the Zealots stay hidden. All else revealed. Bwamp, bwamp, bwamp. God, this is such a fuck. I would be if I was a person living on, it's not an attack. It's just a roll. No, it's a standard CVC test. So if I were living on Yukia, I would at this point, if I wasn't already thrown in with the UPC, I would definitely do it now, because it's like the church shows up with their villainous machinery that can see into people's lives, and it's just revealing enemies of the state. It's terrifying stuff. Yeah, it's nasty. I would be very much afraid of those dudes. Yeah. You can't hide from the eye of God. All right, so Zealots remain. I'll make a note here. So, okay, scanned. Zealots, base of influence. What else did we scan? We scanned as Party Machine. And we scanned False Front. And Zealots remain stealthed. All else revealed. All right. So that's the beginning of their turn. It's the first thing that happens. They should have a balance of 14. Okay, good. And then they're going to, here we go, it's their turn. Now they've got a lot of stuff, right? They got a lot of stuff on Yakia. They got cyber ninjas, they got a book of secrets, they got hostile takeovers, they got a demagogue, they have their panopticon matrix, the party machine. Like there is a lot of high church assets on Yakia. They've revealed most of their enemies' assets. And now they're going to buy an asset. They're not pulling the trigger. Which I thought was very interesting. It seems to me, if I were to guess, it looks like the High Church is putting pressure on the UPC to capitulate or convert or become allies, something. But it's basically like they're the fucking sword of Damocles, which I think is quite interesting. The High Church has so much, they have so much clout, and it's cool seeing them use it. Yeah, I think they've got a lot of different irons in the fire. Yeah, maybe they don't want to fire the first shot, or maybe they want to let their Houses Minor enemies do their, or Houses Minor allies do their work. So they're gonna buy an asset. They're gonna buy Treachery for 10 credits on Endophiel. So let's do that. So they're down to 4. Treachery for the High Church on Endophiel. Okay, cool. All right. And then they're going to also activate their transit web on Navet, the Yakia transit web, to move a demagogue to the planet formerly known as Berkman. Okay. So that costs them 1 more, which brings them down to 3 total, I believe. All right. And that is a move. So we got to find their, hold on. High Church. Here we go. Okay. And they're moving their demagogue from Yakia to, or do they have one on Orpheus? Oh yeah, this one. They're moving this one to Navet. There we go. Order fails. Berkman doesn't exist. All right, and that's it. No statement from the church. Yeah, lots of setting up, lots of shuffling. So let's make a note here. They are good. Okay, and I think that's all. I think that's all I need to mess with spreadsheet wise. Oh, let's reset all the stealthed assets, or all the summoning sickness assets. So these assets are all now available. Oh, I gotta fix lodestone too. Hang on. We have to update the Imperial record for lodestone. There it is. Okay. And that's reset. And that's reset. And I forgot to clear that one before, so that one's good now. Going down to Emmett's Fix-It shop to fix Emmett. Okay. All right. Good. We're done. Faction turn complete. Nice work, everybody. So before we go, I did want to say I've been thinking about the Imperial election. We talked about the Imperial election. Now, right now, there is a body of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? There's a body of 9 houses that can vote. Right? Let me know if I missed any. Crux, Fornax, Aquila, Serpens, Triangulum. Who am I missing? Aquila, Serpens. No, I didn't. Yeah, 9 is right. Yeah, okay, we got it. Okay. So there are nine voters. The High Church doesn't get a vote. And I thought about coming up with some arcane way of like putting everybody in a room and then deciding like pick 5 people and then those people pick 5 people and then we do this whole rigmarole. But I think what we're gonna do is between the next faction turn, which is faction turn 11, because I said, right? So let me track these out. So turn 11 is going to be April, right? And then turn 12, which is our kind of one turn year situation. That'll be May 2019. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. Let me fix that because I forgot to get rid of Triangulums. They sold some and I gave them the money, but I didn't get rid of their assets. So thank you. That is a good catch. Let me make sure that happens. So Triangulum, what did you sell? Where are you? Where are you, Triangles? The covert transit net on Thorhill. Thank you. Okay, and the pre-tech researchers on Gleipnir. There it is. Awesome. Okay. All right. So for us, it'll be May when we do the election. And I think what will happen is I want to give you from the end of turn 12 until the end of until after this turn, right? So we'll announce the election at the beginning of turn. We'll announce the results at the beginning of turn 13. This will be our Imperial election month. I'll announce it essentially June 1st. So votes will have to be in on that same order line. Now, I was thinking about doing a complicated thing, and I was thinking about doing whatever, but I think, yeah, end of turn 12. No, because we have a month, right? So you'll submit your things, and I'll announce it when we do turn 13. So we still have several months to go. But yeah, I wanted to have the full 12, and then we go in. Anyway, I think I'm just gonna do it as a simple majority. I think that's how we're gonna do it. I think it's just you all put in a vote, and the majority in which the highest number of votes cast or item exceeds the second highest number. I think that's the plan. It doesn't have to be unanimous. I think it's just whoever has the most votes. And in the case of a tie, we'll do, in the case of a tie, I think I want to give an opportunity for a revote. And I think if there's no clear winner after a revote, we'll do a revote. And if there's no clear winner after that, then the church takes over. Yeah, I think that's the plan. It'll be a 9-way tie. What, everybody votes for themselves? Yeah. So that's what I want. That's what I want to have. I think that's the plan. Yeah, keep the factions that are tied and drop the rest. Yeah, we won't. I want to make it as simple and smooth as possible. So ideally, there's one clear winner in the first round. If not, everybody who is tied, you have to pick from them. And if you can't, if there's a tie again, then the church just takes over the empire, and they become the emperor, and that is dangerous. And they don't want that either. Can houses vote for themselves? Of course they can. And then in terms of what you get, I haven't decided yet, and I'm keeping it a little bit obscure. But basically you'll get some experience points to spend. You'll get some free assets that you'll be able to use whether or not you would normally be able to use them. And then and then you'll have control over Imperial Prime, and then a bunch of lore stuff, right? You will be the Imperial House. Your person will become the Emperor, and anything that is requiring like an Imperial permission, I will come to you and be like, "What saith the Emperor?" And if you want to, you can restart the Imperial Courts, and we can kind of kick that off. We could start an Imperial Court channel, like an in-character channel for like doing a debate about how the law works, and it'll really shift the game, which is why I want to put it off for a few months, because I want to think about the way in which this is going to change the setting, because we've talked about it being pretty dramatic. Yeah. So there you go. There you go. That's the plan. Further action for the universe. Yes, factions will submit their vote as part of their turn 13 orders, and I will announce the results. These are going to be public votes. They're public votes, so you don't have to tell anybody else who you're voting for, obviously, but I will announce it. I will draw from the ballot at the beginning of the turn, or maybe at the end if I want to drag it out, and I will say, the House of Aquila cast their ballot in the name of House Aquila, right? Like we'll make a ritual of it. Yeah. And then there'll be a coronation. There's a whole big thing. You unlock the vaults of the Emperor. You get access to all the Imperial tech. Yeah, it's going to be a big thing. So, yeah. Pick a house if you don't want the church just to get bigger and better. Though I'm thinking if the church takes over, there'll be a different effect. The church won't necessarily get access to the fleet, that kind of thing, you know? Like, I think maybe there are other protocols in place if the church wins. I'm going to talk to the church a little bit about it, and we'll sort something out. Yeah, I think it'll be different. If there's no winner, then I'll have... And again, this is why I want to give myself some months to plan it. Yeah, so that's it. That's our faction turn. Thank you for coming, everybody. This has been faction turn number 10, March of 2019. The show is undergoing some turbulence, but the faction turn plays on. And thank you for continuing to create a cool and exciting universe that I am always excited to goof around in. As I've said before and will continue to say, this is the real Far Verona. Don't tell anybody. We'll see you next time. Thanks for coming, everybody. Bye.